crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cars are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, Boise State, yes, they do practice tackling in practice, folks. Full tackling today at practice as the Broncos get set to take on Appalachian State on Saturday. The Broncos returning to the practice field on a Tuesday morning out on the blue. Beautiful morning for some football here at Albertson Stadium. Jay Tust, BJ Rains, we are outside. And Jay, you heard the horn going off right there. That means that Spencer Danielson called a little audible. So they went into the team portion for a little bit there, and we're getting in some drills. And excuse me, we snuck out of practice to come out here and talk for a little bit. So we're dealing with Bronco guest Wi-Fi. We'll see how that goes today. But Jay, happy Tuesday, man.
Happy Tuesday, bud. It's interesting walking into work today, man. It's only Tuesday, but already kind of starting to feel the energy, to believe it or not, of game day. There's already some people starting to set things up, and and whatnot. And it just reminds you, we only got 5 more of these things in Boise this year.
Hopefully 6, right?
Hopefully 6.
Yeah. By the way, we mentioned the Ford vehicle behind us last time, so we just went ahead and set up right with the Ford vehicle. And they are actually doing, I think it's a canned food drive. There is something related to that, and I apologize, I don't know all the details, but you can go onto our Instagram. A lot of interesting stuff posted Instagram lately. You can go on there and you can check out the what is it called? The collaboration with Lithia Ford of Boise, and they give you the details. I know Kenzie McMillan, they were talking about it, but you can bring some canned goods and some things down here.
Matt Louder and Latrell Capel is also in on that.
Perfect. So all their NIL agents. So come on down here. I think you got till the game on Saturday to drop off some canned goods and some other stuff for folks that live through Lithia Ford of Boise. So lighting, not great, not horrible. We chose the shade, Jay. It's starting when you get in the sun for too long, it warms up a little bit.
I was actually kind of hoping you were going to be in the sun. It's 62 degrees.
It feels
this
good.
morning.
It feels perfect right here in the shade.
Does.
So we are over here by the where they set up for the radio show and stuff out here on the Ford Plaza. So Jay, I don't want to spend too much time on Air Force. It's Tuesday. We're kind of moving on, but obviously we saw your coverage at Bronco Studio. By the way, you're a risky man. I'll just say that. I heard you ask how much time until the bus leaves. And I'm looking around, and there ain't too many people around, and you're out there filming a stand-up.
Yeah.
Which was, very well done. We all saw that on Bronco Studios. But I would have been first one on the bus, nervous the entire time, standing next to somebody else to make sure I don't miss it. I don't know if there's another story where they almost pulled away or not, but
there is. Yeah. Luckily for me, Charlotte's got my back, so she usually tells me the bus is going to leave without you or something like that. And I know that's the point in time that I got to run on the bus.
But you finished the stand-up.
Shout out to Charlotte, by the way.
Did you finish the stand-up? Or
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually made it in plenty of time. I honestly wasn't even late to the bus or the last one on the bus for that matter. I got it done.
As a new employee, I don't think you want to be the one that they're
I know.
Spencer Danielson, of all the recent coaches, if they said, well, hold on, we got to wait 1 minute for Jay Tust, Spencer probably would not have said drive.
Yes.
Previous coaches would have said,
get out of there.
See ya. Sorry. Who cares?
I will say this. I was warned once, hey, we'll leave without you. Very nicely, by the way. I was half joking. But I know as the new guy, I don't want to be warned. I don't even want to get it that close, right? So
yes, I was kind of. I was like, man, he's gutsy, man. They said, oh, you got about 10 minutes. I'm like,
I was prepared. I had everything to go. I was editing during the second half, so I could spin it pretty quick.
And then it sounds like you get great Wi-Fi and accommodations on the plane home to get a lot of work done.
Unfortunately, it took me a little bit longer than I wanted to post it because there's no Wi-Fi on the plane. That's all right. Still got some work done. Was able to label all my clips by the time we landed.
There you go. Always fun when you see the players retweeting stuff and you text guys like Jay and they text you back at 1 a.m. and they're back in Boise and we're still, in the press box working at that point. Always fun. But a quick turnaround for you with 3 kiddos on Sunday morning. So
yeah,
I saw you had the victory donuts though.
Victory
That's
donuts.
A pretty cool tradition.
I think my daughter's leaning into it. Plus, you're figuring this out right now. In order to be the cool dad, you got to buy a $400 bat or something like that. Drew Fielder, Javen Buchanan walking by. Basketball practice got underway. I'm sure we're going to get to that in just a minute here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm welcome around these parts right now.
With you to be the cool dad, you got to buy Naismith or Nelly the $400 bat. Me, I can still skate by on being a cool dad with 79-cent donuts. Or I think they're $1.19.
Oh, that would work for my kid. That would work for my kids.
Either way, I'm leaning.
I'd much rather do that.
I am leaning into the cool dad donuts while I can. So victory donuts after Boise State wins.
Yeah, that's a pretty
let me know where I should go next.
Yes,
we usually just hit up Albertsons.
I wondered where that was.
Yeah, Albertsons Marketplace. They got a nice little place.
You got to get
down
to one of the DK Donuts or one of the local.
Maybe we'll bounce around.
Yeah,
here.
I think it sounds like an NIL deal for Jay.
Hey.
Throw Jay some money, he'll go get a donut.
Yes,
sounds like I'm not getting any comments that you can't hear us or see us. So I hope we're okay right now. Appreciate all of you for sticking with us. Like I said, you never know on these mobile shows here, but for the time being, we're okay. And Jay, nice win. I said don't want to spend too much time on it, but overall, there's some questions certainly defensively, but offensively, back-to-back 500-yard games, first time in 6 years they've done that. Defensively, you do get the win, and I know in Air Force you kind of just throw some of the other stuff out the window. Obviously, fans still concerned about the pass defense, some of the penalties that concern on both sides of the ball, but overall, you get a road win in conference play, and you're 1-0, and you got a 2-game winning streak, and you're back on the blue this week.
Yeah, they're 8 yards away from back-to-back 600-yard games. I was tracking that one. I was hoping they'd get to that because that's even more rare, even honestly on a national scale, not just a Boise State scale.
Almost, and what was it, 16 yards, I think, from back-to-back 300. They had 300 passing, 300 rushing against Eastern Washington. I think they finished with 284 rushing.
Something in that range.
Barely missed that one, yeah.
So, they're getting it rolling offensively. I think that they're finding their rhythm. They're finding their groove. Maddox Matson's yards per attempt right now, these last couple of games have actually kind of been off the charts, to be honest with you. And I just think that Nate Potter is really starting to settle in and find a rhythm and find a groove on offense. And, you know, I still go back to that first game, and I think it was a massive learning experience for everybody. It's so simple. Like, I don't want to relate it to a video game because that's dumb, but like, I will also say, like, it's so funny. Like, I think I mentioned this before, when you're playing on like NCAA or whatever, and all of a sudden you want to go up to the Heisman, the most difficult level. If you play like you did when you were on JV, then it's going to go bad for you, right? The game will stack the odds against you. And so I think that the game got away from them early. They couldn't run the ball late against South Florida because they were behind by so much. And basically the game was just a wash for them. Now you see what happens when they get out and they establish a run early, which they've done each of their 2 victories. Then they can really stay within the rhythm of their offense, do the things. And one thing that I think that we do need to acknowledge and tip our cap to Maddox Madsen and some of the receivers, and Matt Wagner, the tight end for that matter, they got themselves into some really difficult situations on 3rd and long.
Yeah.
But more often than not, they somehow bailed themselves out of those situations. So I thought that was encouraging. Overall, there were some big moments where they displayed some resiliency, which I think was big for that football team.
Devo Bronx saying Potter called a great game.
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, did he call a great game? I'm going to guess he did. You know, I don't always like to pretend like these guys are so informed and so in the weeds about the X's and O's and what does and doesn't work. It seems like he called a beautiful game because it worked so well. They were explosive on offense. I got back and I mean, Boise State didn't run like that many plays on offense, considering they scored 49 points. I mean, they were very explosive. I was impressed with what they did, and you know, the stable is full. I'm gonna joke here for a second, BJ, because now, you know, following the first game, one of the questions was, man, are too many guys, you know, touching the rock at running back? Are there too many guys involved? You need to simplify back there.
I was one of those guys saying that.
Oh, I couldn't remember who it was. All right, well, I was just kidding then. Never mind. Great question.
No, I said give Sire Gaines more carries. I said we don't need him getting 9 carries in a game.
Which I'll say no.
Yeah.
I would not have argued with that.
3 running backs on the first drive of the game against USF. I didn't understand it.
And now you look at it and you're like, well, I can see why they wanted to try that with Dylan Riley, making sure they somehow tried to get him involved. And you know, they said they called it a good problem to have yesterday, but they're going to have to figure that out and make sure that they know how to appropriately ride each of those guys, because I think that we have definitely seen so far this season, all of them are perfectly capable of contributing. They just got to figure out how to bring out the best in all of them. But they got a great problem back there. James Montgomery, phenomenal assistant coach, the running backs coach.
And I know the depth chart is what it is. It's not to be taken super seriously, but yesterday's updated depth chart still lists Dylan Riley as 3rd string.
Yep.
I mean, he's leading the nation in yards per carry with at least 30 carries. I mean, he's doing what he's doing. You said leading the Mountain West in rushing. I saw your stat out there.
4.7 yards per game.
He's not the 3rd string running back on this team.
He doesn't seem like it. And I'll say the one thing about Dylan, man, he seems like, I mean, this isn't supposed to be a slight towards anybody else or a knock towards anybody else, but like, he kind of seems like he might be the most complete running back, because as much as he is known for his speed, which we've all, I mean, like, if he gets away, you're not going to catch him. He showed that has that gear, but I also was really impressed with some of his tougher runs in that game. And so,
well, that 5th touchdown to seal the game, it's 3rd and 3 or whatever it was. You had to get a first down there. I think 3rd and 4 maybe, and he goes for 40 yards for a touchdown right up the middle.
Yeah,
I mean that. Yeah, I agree, man.
I was really, really impressed with Dylan Riley. I also think that Dylan has he just seems like he could really be a leader on this team as well. All the guys just seem to absolutely love him, and I think it shows. I mean, not just for Dylan too. I will say it seems like Sire and Malik have great respect in the locker room as well. So maybe it's a moot point for me. But if you look at the way Latrell Caples blocks, if you look at the way Ben Ford blocks, if you look at the way Matt Lauder and Matt Wagner block, obviously the guys on the offensive line as well. But like, it seems like they are eager to help those guys and spring them free. And if they can, we saw what can happen. I mean, on his 2nd touchdown run, you saw Ben Ford just kind of get in the way of a cornerback, climb up there and get in the way for just a second, and it was easily enough for Riley to get by him. So
it's one nice thing about sitting in the press box, because in some of those, and you were filming up there too, I mean, some of those you could just see the play develop, and you could just see if he gets by this one guy, he's going. It's kind of with Genty last year. You could just see the play develop, and he gets through the first line. You're like, okay, he's got room here. If he gets by that guy, he's gone. There was a couple of times with Riley where you're like, nope, see ya. I mean, one more block, don't hold, get by that guy, and he's done. And the thing about Riley is, and I was guilty of this, I kept saying, you know what? He was doing a lot of great stuff, but a lot of it was in quote unquote mop up duty. And it was like, how do you, and I asked a couple of times, like, how do you weigh what a player's doing when the game's not really on the line, when you've got your third string offense in there and they might have some backups, who knows, when it's 44-3 versus doing it when the lights are on with the first stringers. And I'm not saying I never said it wouldn't translate. I just said, how do you figure that out as a coach, as an evaluator? Is the talent, is the tape the same? He obviously got his shot. He knew he was going to get his shot with Sire Gaines being limited a little bit, and he wasted little time, proving that he's worthy of everything he's going to get and more.
And a heartwarming story. I think that Coach Danielson has alluded to what Riley went through this last summer a number of times with his father suddenly passing away, and I think that was a moment in time where Riley, really earned the respect of his teammates because, as Spencer was telling us, he missed nothing. And we know how much he loved his dad. If you follow him on social media, you can tell how much they loved each other. But he took it as an opportunity to still show up and lead. And he didn't miss a practice. He didn't miss a workout. And I think that's a reason why he's so beloved on this team. He showed how committed he was. And in turn, they loved him back.
And Willie Riley, we were sitting literally right over there doing the pregame show for the Mountain West Championship game. And I was on with Brad and Kent, and we're talking, and Dylan Riley's dad, Willie, walked over and I said, he kind of said something, and I said, come on. I had never met him before. And I said, come on out, come on. And he said, I'm Dylan Riley's, I said, come on in. So we put him on there. And that was one of the most well-received interviews we've ever had, aside from a Jay Tust interview. Having Willie Riley on, his energy, his infection, just his how much he loved his son, and how much that's what I took away. And I remember when I think it was like early June, heard the unfortunate news of his dad's passing. I went back and rewatched that video, and just how much he loved his son. He had tickets and plans to come to every road game, every home game this season to support his son. And, not trying to go Tom Rinaldi, whatever, but I mean, Dylan Riley has this game, and he looks in the stands, and in years past he would have seen his dad over there, and that's just got to be super tough for him. I know after the first home game he had something under his shirt that he was holding up. I told this on the post-game show and yesterday. We Dylan deserves all this praise, but I know he's still going through a very tough time. So we did suggest and agree with the sports information department that we wouldn't ask about his dad. But he did a great job talking after the game. I'm sure once he gets to that point where he feels comfortable talking about it, it's going to be quite the story because but just his dad just, and I'm not saying other dads don't, whatever, but you could just tell how much he loved his son, how excited they had a NIL gear he was wearing for his son, and it was just a awesome interview, and it made it that much more painful when you heard about what had happened. And so wishing Dylan nothing but the best, obviously, and he's off to a great start, 300 plus rushing yards in 3 games. And is Dylan Riley a guy that can rush for 1,000 yards this year? What is the ceiling here?
He's absolutely on pace to do it. Right now he's on pace to rush for between right around 1,350. And it's actually funny. I'm going to go tweet this out later or whatever, but I went back and I added it up. If you look at Dylan Riley's first 32 rushes this season, he's got 314 yards and 5 touchdowns. If you look at Ashton Genty's first 32 rushes of last season, he was at 339 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Slacker. Come on,
6
Dylan.
touchdowns. Excuse me.
Come on, Dylan.
He didn't even score a 7th touchdown. I think 6 touchdowns. So and on Ashton's 32nd carry, it was a 31-yard run. So I mean they're like neck and neck, and I'm not trying to compare Dylan to Ashton because that's unfair, and comparison is a thief of joy. I get it, but I will pause and just use it as a little bit of perspective to show you what he's doing is really, really incredible right now. And 32 carries into the season, he's almost averaging 10 yards a carry. It's insane. And you bring up some NIL merch.
I was going to ask you about that because Chad says after watching Dylan's postgame interview, he's now my mom's favorite player, and I think he's going to become a lot of guys' favorite, a lot of fans, families' favorite players. And about 30 feet from us, you can show that.
Our guy Travis Hawks over at the Blue and Orange store. Just really cool how I walked into work yesterday, and I always see the blue and orange store guys, and they're awesome and they're friendly. And I just jokingly was like, "You guys gonna print some Dylan Riley jerseys today?" And he was like, "We already are." And I went back into the room, and they're already pressing 24 Dylan Riley jerseys.
And now they're hanging right there.
And now they're hanging it up in there. And I just think it is so cool how equipped Boise State and the blue and orange store are to handle the NIL era.
Yep.
And really set it up to where not only can fans benefit, but Dylan Riley would benefit if you went and bought his jersey, right? So I just think that's awesome, and I would expect and I would hope to see some 24 Dylan Riley jerseys in the stands coming up on Saturday against Appalachian State.
Yeah, nothing against other merchandise stores. The previous,
no.
The previous one that was over here, but just the technology and the foresight or whatever it's called to think ahead like that. And yeah, guy has a good game on a Saturday. On Monday, you can buy his jersey in the store. Last year, you'd be like having to wait 3/4 through the season for some of these guys' jerseys to pop up. And sometimes they wouldn't because I mean, if you even go back when they didn't even have it a couple years ago. But now it's pretty cool.
You say that there's another school. Some random person messaged me from another school today, and they were asking me for information on it, which I obviously directed them elsewhere. I gave
from
them
the school or a fan?
No, another school, because they're wondering how Boise State and the blue and orange store are doing that. They said that they get old jerseys in and things like that, and oftentimes they'll get a number too late, and then by the time they do, that number isn't necessarily a cool number, so sales go poor, and then they're less likely to do it in the future. What the blue and orange store is doing right now, it is fluid, it is timely, and I think it's really, really awesome. And I think we're seeing the power of it right now because, we're talking not the very first business day after the game, they're already printing.
That was at 9 a.m. or whatever.
9 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, no, you get here like 6:30. That was probably
6:30
really
a.m.
early.
That's a good point. You mentioned that. I forgot about that, BJ. But no, right when I walked in, they're already printing them. I thought that was just really, really cool.
Any other final takeaways from the Air Force game before we move on?
I don't think so. I think that the one thing I will say, and Spencer mentioned this in his press conference the other day, and I know that 37 points is too many. They got to figure it out. They got to stop allowing so many big plays, especially through the air. But I will say that the massive difference for me between the South Florida 34-point performance they allowed and the 37 they allowed against Air Force, not only is the fact that one was a win and one was a loss, but like I never felt like there was a lack of effort on defense in that Air Force game. Against South Florida, we were watching it before our very eyes. Excuse me. Almost, really talking to ourselves in the press box, like, what is this? Like, what is going on? And despite the fact they were allowing some points in yards or whatever to Air Force, I never felt like the effort wasn't there. So I think that's a really important ingredient moving forward. They'll get a fix. Don't forget, last year, the offense really carried this team the first portion of the season. And then once they kind of got Wyoming, Nevada, some of the later games, man, the defense really rose to the occasion and was the reason they probably won a few of those games.
Yeah.
So, like, there's still time for that unit to get better, and Boise State will need them to. If anything, it might be a good thing, BJ, that you have one unit performing really well, the other one can get better, and at some point in time, one is going to carry the other. So the defense will rise to the occasion at some point in time. Maybe you want to both play an elite by the end of the season, Mountain West Championship game, and then college football playoff.
Take it a week from Saturday.
Or a week from Saturday in South Bend would be a great time too.
Blake's joking. Hope you didn't give any any phone numbers related to Dylan Riley if it was another team asking for info.
Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. That was not what it was about.
Sky did say just bought a Dylan Riley jersey. Both my sons will be rocking Dylan and Sire Gaines jerseys for
See
the
how
game
awesome that is?
On
he had a 41 Ian Johnson jersey. Imagine.
Now they used to do the year, right? So maybe you got lucky and it was like, oh, it's 2024. Yeah. Maybe 2 years ago you could have got 24. And now it was usually what, number one?
Yeah, one
year or
one,
something.
One and maybe two were kind of in rotation there for a while. After Kellen left, I think 11 for a little while.
Which they have those available, right? The retro Kellen jerseys.
But you saw like the years for a bit going on. It's a different era, and Boise State and the blue and orange store are ready to embrace it.
Hey, rowpaint.com. Check them out, roepaint.com. All your painting needs. Our title sponsor. Hit up rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union. They got 7 NIL deals with student athletes, and you see their logo in and outside Boise State now. ICCU.com. You can make the switch today. Rains family happy ICCU members, ICCU.com. Jay, the only way I could get Johnny to go on location on Thursday, we're doing the show from Taco Bell. Offer Johnny a free breakfast, and it was a pretty quick sale there. So we'll be Thursday morning at the Taco Bell on Broadway. Might be out in the parking lot, I believe. Looking forward to that, though. But TacoBellWorks.com. Looking forward to Thursday over at Taco Bell. Tonight, We haven't mentioned Ty Benefield yet, Jay. He had a heck of a game. Ty Benefield and Zion Washington live at the James Kitchen and Bar tonight, 8 o'clock, the Riley and Ridge Show. You want to meet Ty Benefield? You want to meet Zion Washington? You want to have a chance at getting some signed trading cards maybe? Come to the Riley and Ridge Show. That is tonight at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. tonight at the James Kitchen and Bar by Albertson Stadium. They're going to be out on the patio hanging out for the show tonight. Really looking forward to tonight's show at the James Kitchen and Bar. If you can't join them in person, we'll have some trading cards to pass out. First beers on me if you're paying subscriber. Otherwise, watch on YouTube. 8 o'clock tonight, Ty Benefield and Zion Washington on location at the Blue and Orange store. Speaking of, or at the James, and speaking of the Blue and Orange store, theblueandorangestore.com. Check them out. Anywhere in the world, you can order that Dylan Riley jersey. Anywhere in the world at theblueandorangestore.com, or come on down here to their new location at the Lyle Smith Stadium entrance out here at the Hall of Fame, Allen Noble Hall of Fame, during normal business hours, and pick up all your Boise State game day gear. And I mentioned Lithia, Florida, Boise. Jay, Friday, we'll see who fits in the vehicle better, but we're going to have Mike Prater ride around in a vehicle with me on Friday's show from Lithia, Florida, Boise. We had so much fun doing that with Jay last week. We're going to do it again. Mike Prater on Friday. Who do you think is going to be more recognized if we're driving down Broadway this time? You or Prater? We'll have to see.
For sure.
We may have to do, I joked about it, but we may have to stop off at Taco Bell and Jackson's and hit all the sponsors on Friday. But looking forward to Friday. We'll be out at Lithia, Florida, Boise ahead of the game on Saturday. And that's Lithia, Florida, Boise, online at lithiafordboise.com. All right, Jay, I know you were one of the thousands last night that was hanging out outside the doors at Albertson Stadium. What a scene it was as the legend himself was in town on the blue last night. Is it iShowSpeed show? I'm not familiar with this young man.
This is one of the first times in my life, BJ, outside of Pro Day, that I now feel old. Awesome that he came here. This is a big deal if you understand who he is, which I don't fully understand who he is, but it is a massive deal that he came to Boise and stopped by to see the blue. So that's cool. But that's about where my knowledge of this stops. I'm not going to lie. I don't know a ton about him other than he has an insane amount of followers on all of his social media platforms.
Now, the Tequila Gus does say I'm over at ISMI, totally fanboying over seeing Tust. He said security wouldn't let me get close.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
So this is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him either, but he has over 44 million.
Yeah.
44 million on his YouTube channel, iShowSpeed. I was checking his Wikipedia page. He's only 20 years old, by the way, not even 21 yet. Was born in Ohio. He's a big-time YouTube streamer and star, one of the biggest popular online streamers and internet personalities in the world right now. And he was at Boise State last night, went for a run. And as you're going to see in a second here, Jay, shouldn't be that surprised, but Brock Rice somehow was involved and set all this up and had the jersey for him that you're going to see here in a second. But Quentin Brown got burned for a TD. I don't know if you saw that or not, Jay. And then after at the end when he was saying goodbye or whatever, he was, iShowSpeed was talking a little trash when he said you were on the team. About the point when this is happening, Jay, there was about 35,000 watching live. 35,000 watching live. There's Brock Rice. He said you can choose football or basketball, and he chose football there for the jersey. But you talk about marketing opportunities. I'm not sure previous ADs would have opened up the stadium and just said, have at it.
Man, they even turned on the lights and stuff for him.
Yes. Turned on the lights, had full go, whatever you wanted to stay, as long as you wanted. They had security. Darren Lee, the police officer, was there. I mean, because when he walked out there, I don't know if you saw there was literally hundreds of people standing outside the stadium waiting to get his picture and talk to him afterwards. It was some positive marketing for Boise State.
It's awesome. It's great. I'm 1,000 years old because I don't get it, but that sounds wonderful. I'm glad that he brought some attention to Boise State and the blue. I thought it was kind of funny. He was commenting on how small or tight the jersey was. That's kind of the way they are, bud.
He did say it was a small.
It's a football jersey. I don't even know if it's a small.
Is that a Malachi Nelson? Is that a Marion McCoy? Do we know whose 7 jersey that was?
I'm not exactly. I don't know. To be honest with you, it's cool that Dale and the crew over there got that thing ready to go in time because they can adjust on the fly too. But that's kind of just the way football jerseys are. You don't want people to grab them when they're tackling you, so they are tight.
Now your kids might be a little too small to be on the YouTube stuff.
I don't think they have any clue.
I wasn't sure because I've never seen my kids watching that, but I said, "Have you ever heard of this iSpeed show?" He goes, "It's iShowSpeed, Dad." And I said, "Okay, so you know about it?" He goes, "Yeah, he likes Ronaldo and he races people." And I said, "Okay." And I looked it up, and sure enough, he where's Ronaldo? But I got hooked, Jay, last night. I started watching that thing. I think Jordan Morales or somebody tweeted that he was on his way to the blue or something. So I start watching, and I couldn't turn it off, man. It was so bad, and I wonder why people are watching that are not.
Okay,
like
two things stood out to me. The production value, there's not a ton, at least what he did last night. But I am jealous of some of his equipment because
I was going to say,
he has multiple TVU packs.
The stream never at all skipped. I was wondering about that.
You saw his TV or his cameraman all had TVU packs on.
Now they're all bringing up memories of when they saw you out in public, Jay. I saw Jay at the big Albertsons on Eagle Road in Fairview. Didn't want to say hi. Didn't want his bodyguards to show up.
I don't even have bodyguards. I would contract you
I
to
think
be my
I think we
bodyguard.
know this is a fake one because we know you don't do your own shopping. Come on, Jay.
I do actually. Yeah. As we stack these kids up, we got 3 now, so whoever can get to the store and pick up the groceries as quick as possible, I'm usually the volunteer.
But when they left and then they're leaving and there's people literally hanging on to his SUV and screaming, and then I don't know which hotel they were at. They said it was only 5 minutes away. They were at a hotel around here for some of his camera guys and stuff, I guess, to sleep in, but they were in the parking lot, and he went in to take a shower, and there was just hundreds of people in the parking lot, and I couldn't turn the thing off, man.
I'm blown away.
So, well, this is worse. So I wake up this morning, and the stream is still on my computer. It's about 7:10 in the morning, and there's 11,000 something people watching, and he's sound asleep. He's sleeping. There's this little thing. Now the bus was moving. There was a big screen. I guess the bus overnight took off. They're going to Seattle today, I think, or somewhere. And so you get a wide screen of just the road as the bus is driving. And then the little thumbnail in the corner is just him sleeping on the couch right there. And there was over 11,000 people watching that this morning.
Guys, could you just watch Bronco Nation News and Bronco Studios? Like, could you just
what do you think he makes on a
I feel like we're actually more entertaining, but I could be wrong. I'm missing something here. Maybe we need to race Ronaldo. I don't know.
He didn't race anybody. I guess that's his thing. People were wondering about that. Last if him and Quentin Brown would have raced, that would have been, I don't know. But yeah, it's society for you these days, man. A YouTuber comes and they let him. I mean, great. Kudos to Jeremiah and Cody and Nate Burke and everybody for letting him in and making it happen. And as I said,
at the end of the day, it's just
I believe Brock Rice was, Brock Rice.
I wish it was that easy.
Oh, I know. And Brock Rice was heavily, and I'm happy when we would go over 1,000 at some point, but 44 million, and he had 30-something thousand watching live when he was on the blue last night. So I don't think I'll ever watch one of them again. And if you have no connection to Boise State or the blue, I don't know why you were watching. And this is nothing against him. He's obviously killing it. Great job. Congrats. But it's not my thing.
We got to give our guys here a little pop quiz on the history of the blue too. I feel like
weren't they asking him about it? And some of them didn't know.
Yeah, so we gotta make sure we do that. I think it's been a while. Make sure that everybody knows when, why, and where it came about.
He's worth millions and millions of dollars. According to Chad. So.
He is. He's probably worth $10 million. Good job, man.
Jay, basketball practice. First practice was yesterday. Yep. Leon, excited about this team. You've been able to see more practices than anybody in your new role. And what stood out to you? What are you excited about here? We're less than a month away from this exhibition against Idaho. Some of the players have kind of been walking by, and obviously it's just it's a new look team. You got 3 or 4 key players back from last year, but obviously you're bringing in a couple transfers, a couple freshmen. There's some new faces. What has you excited as it's ceremonial, and we are going to hear from Leon, but it was the first official practice. They've been practicing 3-4 times a week for months. Mm-hmm. You've seen a lot of those. What excites you? What should excite fans about this team?
First off, it's going to take a minute to get used to Tyson Degenhart not being here. It is weird. Like, it just is. It's weird not seeing 2 out there lead this team. That being said, there's some new faces that offer plenty of intrigue. I'm really excited to see Drew Fielder and what he can do in the Mountain West. He's seasoned. He's had a couple of years in college. He's back at a place where he's super comfortable, where he wanted to be. I actually caught up with him yesterday on Bronco Studios, and it just hit me while I was sitting there talking to him, because once upon a time I covered Drew in high school. And he transferred away to a prep school down in California because he felt like he needed to do that to get the best out of himself. And now he chooses to come back to Idaho because he believes it's the best decision for him. I just think it's a really cool full circle moment, and he wants to be here. I mean, we talked about this months ago, I know, BJ, but out of Georgetown, he then committed to transfer to USC. That lasted about a night, and he woke up and committed to Boise State. It was wild to try to figure out what the heck happened there, but it was truly just a a change of heart overnight where honestly, I don't even know if it was a change of heart. It was he just went to bed and he said he couldn't sleep that night, and he woke up and he realized that he made the wrong decision and he wanted to be at Boise State. And now he's here.
And luckily, he hadn't signed anything yet.
And
good. Now,
who even knows if it would have mattered in this day?
Yeah, that's true. But now he gets to play USC in the first game in the Maui Invitational.
Yeah, right. So that's actually kind of cool, and we joked around about that one too. But
I think the one practice I got to watch, I was really impressed with Dylan Andrews, and he is a different player than Alvaro Cardenas.
I think he's a very different player
with how quick he is, how he gets to the rim. I mean, I was like, man, this guy has a chance if he stays healthy to have just a monster year.
I think on the defensive end, he's going to make a massive impact as well. Really excited to see what DA can do, and I'm trying to also get used to the DA nickname because that was Derek Olson's nickname. I'm fine with it. It was a long time ago, but I just gotta, get used to that nickname. What, Dylan? Oh, I don't.
Did anyone call him DA?
I don't know if anybody. Right. And if he did, I guess we really didn't get the chance to get to know him that well. I suppose. I don't know. This DA is big time, though.
No doubt, but I think he's big time, and then I think. Spencer Aarons, a freshman, has a chance to make an instant impact right away. And then you talk about Meadow and you talk about Carmichael and some of these guys. I mean, this team's going to be able to shoot a little bit, and that's not even counting like Parolin or Ethan Lathan or some of the backup big guys last year. And then you have Bowie and Keene. And I mean, I know fans don't like us hyping these teams up, best team ever, whatever. I understand it, but in terms of the depth, they're going to be able to pretty easily go 9-10 deep.
I mean, in the past, I just think there were a lot of guys you could, even if you were optimistic about them playing, I think we could really step back and say that guy's probably redshirting this year. And now you look at some of these guys and BJ, I really don't know how many obvious candidates there are to redshirt this year. I mean, like maybe say a guy like AG, given the fact that you got DA there and things like that. I'm telling you, like he has been great this preseason.
Oh, he impressed me.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to force Leon Rice to make tough decisions, which is an awesome position to be in. But I really do think they have some depth this year that is going to keep practice in these games and everything in between highly competitive.
Well, before we let you go, Jay, just App State coming up on Saturday. We talk about the pass defense. Number 3 in the nation in passing offense, number 11 in total offense. They've got a former LSU quarterback on their roster. The quarterback there was originally on the LSU roster, AJ Swan, I believe it is. What's just your take on this matchup? We got the cool helmets coming out, the all blue uniforms. It sounds like Spencer was saying, and back at home on the blue. And I joke with somebody that the biggest game in the country at 5:30 on Saturday, because you've got Oregon, Penn State, and I think you have Alabama, Georgia, but nowhere else you'd rather be at the same time than on the blue at Albertson Stadium.
Just eager to see if this team can continue to take steps forwards, and I think you've seen moderate improvements each game. I really would say a big improvement from game 1 to game 2, but I think you saw more improvements from game 2 to game 3. So can they continue to stay on that trajectory? Can we see this defense continue to come along? Who's going to play nickel this week, which is another fun thing, because every week so far, they've basically used a different guy at that position. Devon Banks, week 1, played almost every snap there. Jaden Mickey had a huge impact against Eastern Washington. And then last week, it was basically Bowen Phillips holding down that spot. So it'll be interesting to see how they plan to attack that and using their versatility with some of their pieces against App State. I would expect, personally, I think you're going to see a guy like Mickey back out there because of his coverage skills. Against App State in their passing attack. But it's crazy that he goes from playing so much, plays 1 snap in the season opener, plays a ton against Eastern, doesn't play a single defensive snap against Air Force.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really know, but again, because of his coverage skills, I would expect him to be highly involved in the game plan against App State.
And based on, we can't report depth charts and all that stuff, but I think it's fair to say based on practice today too. Yeah. Jaden Mickey, it was just a game plan type thing against Air Force. Everyone said he played amazing against Eastern Washington. There's no reason why he wouldn't be back to be a big part
no
of
doghouse,
this,
nothing there. They love it.
Is this family weekend or homecoming, or it's one of the? Isn't it something this weekend? Why it's already
not
sold?
homecoming? Okay. It's not homecoming.
Might be family weekend. I think. Yeah. Is that? It must be.
It might be parents' weekend.
It's sold out pretty quickly, and I know that there is a reason behind that. I think, but. As you said, man, it's supposed to be a beautiful evening on the blue, sellout crowd, back at home, a chance to get a 3rd straight win before going to Notre Dame. I mean, it should be a fun Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to it. And I was actually looking at the weather report. It is supposed to be 83 degrees at kickoff at 5:30 on Saturday night here in Boise. You joked about it earlier, but I really don't know where else you'd want to be at 5:30 on a beautiful early fall Saturday evening than right here at Albertson Stadium. And oh, by the way, the 83 degrees at kickoff, it drops off after that. It literally, might be the highest point in temperature for the rest of the year because fall is on the way, everybody. We know that.
Yesterday you had Bronco Studios. You mentioned having Drew Fielder. What else if folks want to go back and watch that?
Man, I'm going to highly encourage you to check out the Drew Fielder interview, to be honest with you, because he is cool, calm, collected, a fun interview. He shows his maturity. I really thought BJ was going to be one of those interviews where, I've known Drew for a while, so I knew what I was getting into. I know he's a great interview, but I really kind of thought, I'm like, man, this will be like 8 to 10 minutes and then we'll move on. I think I talked with him for like 15 to 20. He's a great kid. He's going to be a big part of this team. And if there's one thing I'd tell you, outside of some reaction from the Air Force game, I'd make sure to go back and watch Drew.
Bronco Studios on the Boise State Athletics YouTube channel. Go back and check that out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 o'clock, correct? So you got to get back to work on tomorrow's show. Jay, appreciate you for stopping by, man.
All right, buddy.
There he is, guys. Jay Tust, Bronco Studios. Hey, Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, thespateam.com. You can check them out in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. And if you're looking for a sauna, a spa, pool table, dartboard, they got you covered. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. Hey, at Ridley's Family Markets, shop ridleys.com. Locations across the state of Idaho, the surrounding states. If you're looking to save 40% off at the checkout line, you can download that Skip app as well. And we appreciate Ridley's and just that hometown feel when you walk into a great, friendly staff. Highly encourage you to give Ridley's a try. Maybe not the biggest, most well-known as some of the other grocery stores out there, but you're going to really enjoy your experience, whether it's Cuna, Middleton, Star, Worth the Drive, Ridley's Family Markets. Hey, Transportation Compliance Service, you trying to get into the trucking industry? They can help you out every step of the way. Local company here in the Treasure Valley helping out folks all over the world, whether it's DOT, overweight, all the permits, everything you need. They can help you out and get you out there, as I said, towing that first load in no time. So transcomservice.com. Check them out today. Hey, Matt Bauscher Real Estate. Number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. We've seen that firsthand with the Raines family. Bought and sold our home using Matt and his team, Kelly, the whole staff. They did a tremendous job, and we're very appreciative and thankful for Matt Bauscher. So I know everybody has 4 or 5 friends that are realtors in this town, but if you want someone that's going to fight for you, fight for every dollar, help you every step of the way, that is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Hey, speakpipe.com /BNN brings you is where you go, and it brings you the voicemail line. Speakpipe.com /BNN. Leave us a voicemail. We had a couple good ones on the post-game show. Always appreciate those for coming in. Brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades, whether it's a re-roof, a repair, an estimate, an inspection. Signature Roofing, covering our community, online at mysignatureroofing.com. And again, speakpipe.com is the website /BNN. Leave your voicemail. You just do it right there from your phone, and you record your message, and we'll play it on an upcoming show, and we'll pick the best one and give out a gift card here in the near future. I mentioned tonight, 8 p.m., the Riley and Ridge Show is live at the James Kitchen and Bar. Ty Benefield on site. Zion Washington on site. You want to meet Ty Benefield, future NFL safety? You want to meet Zion Washington? Head tonight to the James Kitchen and Bar, 8 p.m. They'll be hanging out on the patio, talking to fans, signing autographs. Get there a little before the show. Try to get an autograph or a picture. And the show starts promptly at 8 p.m. tonight. So you got a trading card you want to bring to have them sign, something else. Tonight's the night, 8 p.m., the Riley and Ridge Show presented by Jackson's. And that's on the patio at the James Kitchen and Bar, Neil Albertson Stadium. If you are a paying subscriber of BNN with the 247 Sports family, you can show me that on your phone, and we will buy you your first beverage. Your first beverage is on BNN tonight. If you come hang out and watch the show, you can just ask the guys a question on air. You get your beverage. It's a fun time. And tonight, 8 o'clock, we've had some really good shows. We had Mason Randolph, Roger Carey on there last week. We've had Matt Lauder on site. We've had Marco Notriani on site. And now we get some more defensive guys. Ty Benefield, Zion Washington tonight, 8 o'clock. Riley and Ridge Show presented by Jackson's, and that is on will be on YouTube as well if you can't make it. So hopefully you can make it tonight. Would love to see some of you there and meet some of you guys. And I don't have to do much for this show. Our man Kanan Rogers and myself, we kind of set it up, and then I get to kind of hang out and have a cold one and chat in the background with you guys. So if anybody wants to come up tonight and talk some ball, would love to chat. And like I said, you want never a better time to just in a kind of a unique, easygoing setting, come here from Ty Benefield and get his autograph, and Zion Washington and the crew, and that is courtesy of Jackson's. So we appreciate Jackson's for doing that. I was going to play a bite from Leon Rice talking about the Utah uniform gate, but I think we're kind of moving on from that. It's on YouTube if you want to go watch it. he was a little frustrated at first. Said some former players were frustrated. Said it's just not something you do, but also said they were college kids and it's a good learning experience and you move on from that. So if you want to watch the full clip, it is there on the YouTube channel. I thought it was some good words from Leon, but I'm not going to waste time playing it. I think we're all moving on from that. And I'm frankly kind of done talking about it. So we'll see moving forward what happens from it, if there is any kind of punishment or anything that comes from it. But when they play Utah State, they're going to blow the picture up and have it there. If they were to play Utah in the tournament, it'd be a big storyline, whatever. I get it. It's not going to fully go away. It'll surface at some games and things, but I think in terms of just locally, kids made a mistake. You're moving on. But if you honestly think that you're not going to buy tickets or that you're giving up whatever just because they were college kids wanting to fit in wearing another jersey, it is what it is. They did talk about it on the Barstool show yesterday on FS1 and actually put in an interview request with Dave Portnoy. So unless he gets back to me and says he'll do it, we're done talking about that story kind of after today and moving on. So it is what it is. They're over here setting up for the upcoming game. They've got some tents and things that they're setting up. You got to mention the Ford vehicle behind us. They got a thing going on where you can bring some canned goods and stuff. They'd love to have you do that and bring some canned goods down here to campus. So you can find more information on the Lithia Ford of Boise Instagram page. I know Kenzie McMillan, Latrell Caples, Matt Lauder, they've been posting about it as well. And you can tag them and I think enter maybe to win some prizes and things. But that's the Lithia Ford of Boise, and they got a drive going on. And the vehicle is down here outside of the stadium. So appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Excuse me. Appreciate you guys for checking us out. We were late due to practice. I wasn't sure the internet was going to work today, but it looks like we're all good and we made it work. So appreciate all you guys for watching the show today, for your support. Go subscribe, BroncoNationNews.com. Nathan Carroll has the snap counts and the PFF grades. If you want to know how the players graded out analytically, if you want to see the snap counts, who played the most, who didn't play at all, you can go check that out right now at BroncoNationNews.com. The PFF numbers and the snap counts, we put those up every Monday after a Boise State game, so you can go check those out. Spencer Danielson, some of the coordinators, those interviews are also available on our YouTube channel, so you can go there and check those out on YouTube if you're interested in getting more information on those and listening and hearing from Spencer Danielson or Eric Shenander or Nate Potter. So those are on our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube right now, give us a quick like. We'd appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and help us grow in the YouTube community as we continue to get closer to trying to catch up to iShowSpeed there in the followers and video and viewers numbers here moving forward. So appreciate you guys for checking us out. It's a beautiful day, and hope to see some of you tonight. 8 p.m., the James Kitchen and Bar, the Riley and Ridge Show, Ty Benefield, Zion Washington on site. If you can't make the show live, please try to watch it live on YouTube and ask your questions. It's a pretty cool show. They throw a lot of questions up on the screen and ask questions. And so if you've ever had a question you wanted to ask to a Boise State football player, you can come do it in person on the mic, or you can throw it up in the YouTube chat tonight at 8 o'clock. And that show is free of charge. We'd love for you to go subscribe. We got a 30% off deal going on right now at BroncoNationNews.com, or you can pay $1 for your first month and try us out and see if you like it, and then it'll just renew at the monthly rate. You can do that. We'd love to have you subscribe and join the BNN community, but the show tonight is free of charge. So just go to the BNN YouTube channel and you can find that show like this one free every time. So how about Julian, the $1.99 super chat here? Appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. He says, like the damn video, and he gave us $1.99. So really appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot. That's super nice and cool of you to do. And you don't need to provide the super chats, but we would definitely like you to click like on the video on your way out here so we can help in the algorithms and all that stuff that shows up on YouTube. So have a great rest of your day. We're talking to Latrell Caples here, and I forget who else in a little bit over inside the facility. They're finishing up practice. We'll get you some interviews and things coming up shortly over on the YouTube channel. And then, as I said, the live show tonight at 8 o'clock. And then Winston Venable, Wednesdays with Winston tomorrow, 9 a.m., right here on Bronco Nation News. So thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Go subscribe. Go check out all the free content, all the paid content there at BNN, and chat in the message boards with other fans and stuff. A lot of discussion going on about various topics. Getting ready for Saturday's game against Appalachian State. Looking forward to that. App State, one of the premier non-powers. I think the Boise State and App State, two of the best winning percentages of the non-power schools over the last 2 decades. So it's kind of a cool matchup. Should be a fun matchup, and we'll have you covered all week as we get set for kickoff on Saturday. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later. Go subscribe. Bronco Nation News online, BroncoNationNews.com.
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Ah, who knew it'd take 2,007 man hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass. Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.